Greetings and a warm welcome to the Sussex Ambassador channel. Here we dedicate ourselves to the fascinating narrative of Harry and Meghan as they navigate their unique path. Do consider subscribing for more insightful content. Join us as we dive into the pressing issue of how the royal family has sought to undermine Harry and Meghan. The royal family finds itself embroiled in an unsightly crisis. It seems the palace corridors are echoing with confusion and uncertainty. The regal calm has been disrupted, and in its place, a flurry of hushed conversations and hurried meetings. At the heart of this turmoil is none other than Charlie, who has taken the reins and called an urgent family crisis meeting. This is no ordinary gathering. The agenda is not about royal engagements or public appearances. It's about survival. It's about reputation, and it's about finding a way forward in the face of adversity. The atmosphere is tense, the stakes are high, and the family is under pressure to chart a course through this storm. But this time, the disquiet seems deeper, the confusion more profound. For the first time in a long time, the usually unflappable family appears to be, dare we say, flapping. The crisis centers around the family's relationship with the media, and more particularly with a certain streaming giant. A Netflix insider has revealed that the British media and the royal family proposed a deal for several shows in exchange for cancelling a lifestyle series with Duchess of Sussex. This offer, however, has been met with surprise and confusion by senior executives at Netflix, who refer to it as utterly ridiculous. This crisis raises questions about the family's understanding of the modern media landscape. It's clear they're grappling with the new rules of engagement, unsure of how to navigate this brave new world. The family's attempt to control the narrative has backfired spectacularly. They stand accused of trying to suppress a woman's voice, of using their influence to stifle creativity, and of being out of touch with the values of the 21st century. The royal family appears to be at a loss, failing to navigate these choppy waters. This crisis has exposed their vulnerability, their lack of direction, and perhaps most damningly, their failure to adapt to the changing times. Their crown is tarnished, their reputation is at stake, and for the first time in a long time, the future of the monarchy is uncertain. A surprising revelation from inside Netflix has come to light. A rather peculiar proposal has been brought forth, a deal between the British media, the royal family, and Netflix. Now, what could this strange proposal entail? Well, it seems the British media and royal family have suggested a trade-off of sorts. Several shows in return for the cancellation of a lifestyle series featuring none other than the Duchess of Sussex herself, Meghan Markle. The very notion of such a deal is, quite frankly, a bit ludicrous. One can't help but chuckle at the audacity of this proposal. To think that in exchange for a few shows, Netflix, a global streaming giant, would cancel a series featuring one of the most talked about figures in recent times. It's akin to offering a few breadcrumbs in exchange for a whole loaf of bread. A senior executive at Netflix, quite understandably, expressed surprise and confusion over this offer. To quote his words, he referred to it as utterly ridiculous. And can we blame him? After all, in what world does it make sense for a platform like Netflix to cancel a potential blockbuster series for a handful of promised shows? This proposal reveals more than just a ludicrous deal. It unveils the desperation seeping through the cracks of the royal facade. It's evident that the non-working, publicly funded royals are feeling the heat. The attack on Meghan has spiraled out of control, leaving a stain on their reputation. Now they're scrambling to control the narrative, trying to bargain their way out of a situation they themselves created. In a world where information is power, the royals are trying to suppress a voice that belongs to Meghan, a voice that has resonated with millions around the globe. But their attempts seem to be in vain. The world is watching, and this desperate bid only serves to show their fear. Netflix's bafflement at this proposal shows just how desperate the royal family has become. Their attempts to silence Meghan and curtail her success have only highlighted their own shortcomings. And in this Game of Thrones, it seems the royals are losing their grip. The relentless attack on Meghan has not gone unnoticed. This incessant pursuit has cast a long, dark shadow over the royal family, leaving their reputation in tatters. The once revered institution is now seen as a breeding ground for hostility, where personal vendettas are prioritized over family ties, and tradition trumps compassion. Let's not mince words here. The royal family's assault on Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is not only unwarranted, but it is also wildly out of control. The public has seen through the thinly veiled attempts to undermine her, and this has only served to tarnish the image of the royals further. The Windsors, in their misguided attempts to preserve their status quo, seem to have lost sight of the fact that their actions are under the microscope. Every move, every word, every insinuation is being dissected and analysed. And do you know what the world sees? Fear. A deep-rooted fear that is driving them to take desperate measures. But what are they afraid of? The answer is simple. Change. The Sussexes represent a new era, a shift from the archaic traditions that have long governed the royal household. And this is what terrifies the Windsors. Interestingly, they have resorted to communicating in coded messages, a stark departure from their usual modus operandi. These messages, seemingly innocuous to the untrained eye, reveal a lot about their mindset. They hint at a certain disillusionment with the Sussexes, a clear indication of their fear and desperation. But the question remains, why are they so scared? The Sussexes have moved on. They've carved out a new life for themselves, away from the toxic royal environment. Yet the Windsors are still running, still scared. This fear and desperation are palpable, and tell a story of a royal family in crisis, a family that is struggling to come to terms with the new reality, a reality where they no longer have control, where their influence is waning, and where their actions have consequences. The royal family's fear and desperation is clear as they scramble to deal with the fallout of their actions. The Windsors left behind are clearly bitter over Harry and Meghan's success. It's not a secret anymore. The bitterness is palpable, the resentment is tangible. Harry and Meghan's departure from the royal fold and subsequent success has left a sour taste in the mouths of those they left behind. The Sussexes have carved out their own path, free from the shackles of royal tradition and protocol. Their departure from the royal family, or the so-called Megxit, was a shock to the system. It was a seismic shift in the royal landscape, and the Windsors were left scrambling to pick up the pieces. But Harry and Meghan didn't just leave the royal family. They created their own brand, their own empire, away from the prying eyes of the British media and the stifling constraints of the royal family. They've been successful in their own right, making deals with giants like Netflix and becoming influential figures in their own right. And it's this success that seems to have stung the most for the Windsors. They've tried to undermine this success, to bring down Meghan's Netflix show. They've tried to use their influence to stifle the Sussexes' newfound freedom and success. But their attempts have been in vain. Harry and Meghan are no longer under their control, no longer their pawns to be moved and manipulated. The Windsors' apparent bitterness and resentment towards Harry and Meghan only serve to highlight their own insecurities and fears. They're afraid of change, afraid of losing control, afraid of being left behind in a world that is rapidly moving forward. But their fear is their own downfall. Their attempts to bring down Meghan's Netflix show only serve to highlight their pettiness and jealousy. The Windsors' actions only serve to further tarnish their already damaged reputation. They're playing a losing game, and the world is watching. Harry and Meghan have moved on, and it's time the Windsors did the same. Harry and Meghan have moved on, leaving the toxic royal family behind. A sentence that resonates with a sense of liberation and a fresh start. A start that has seen the Sussexes flourishing beyond the gilded gates of the palace, unshackled from the chains of royal protocol and the relentless scrutiny of the British media. Our beloved Harry and Meghan have not only survived the trials and tribulations that came their way, but they have thrived. They've found a new home, a new community, and a new platform to voice their passions and engage in philanthropic endeavours that truly matter to them. Despite the attempts to smear their reputation and to sabotage their projects, they've emerged stronger, more loved, and more successful than ever. The Netflix series that was meant to be their downfall has instead become a beacon of their success, a testament to their resilience, their creativity, and their unwavering commitment to authenticity and truth. The world has seen through the bitter efforts of the left-behind Windsors and has chosen to stand by Harry and Meghan, to celebrate their victories and to support their ventures. The Sussexes have indeed moved on, leaving behind a royal family grappling with its own self-inflicted crises. but they have not moved on alone. Millions across the globe have joined them on this journey, offering their unwavering support and admiration. And it is this support that continues to propel Harry and Meghan forward towards a future filled with possibilities. Thank you for joining us today. Remember to subscribe, like, and share to stay updated on all things Harry and Meghan. Until next time, goodbye.